going to talk about inverse functions. But do you know what an inverse function is? If a function is a set of ordered pairs, x and y, then the inverse of a function is a set of ordered pairs, y and x. The inverse of a function is denoted by f inverse of x.
Suppose we have the function f of x is equals to 4x minus 5. To get its inverse, we need to stick y to the function. Y is equals to 4x minus 5. Then, switch the y and x values. X is equals to 4y minus 5. Solve for y. We need to transpose negative 5 to the other side of the equal sign. That makes it x plus 5 is equals to 4y. Now, we need to divide both sides by 4 to retain the variable y. Now that we have retained y, simply stick the symbol that denotes the inverse function. F of inverse of x is equals to x plus 5 over 4. Now that you know how to get the inverse of a function, let's see what the graph of the function and its inverse will look like. To start off, get the x and y intercepts of both the original and inverse functions. Let's start with the original function, which is f of x is equals to 4x minus 5. To solve for the x-intercept, y must be equals to 0. Y is equals to 4x minus 5. Substitute y to 0. 0 is equals to 4x minus 5. Now that it is equated to 0, solve for x. Transpose negative 5 to the other side of the equal sign. Divide both sides by 4 to retain x. Now, x is equal to 5/4. The coordinates of the x-intercepts will be x is equals to 5/4 and 0. To get the y-intercept, x must be equals to 0. Y is equals to 4x minus 5. Substitute x to 0. Y is equals to 4 multiplied to 0 minus 5 is equals to negative 5. The coordinates of y-intercept is 0 and negative 5. Now, do the same thing to the inverse function. Now that we have solved for the x and y intercepts of the original and inverse function, it's time to plot the graph of the functions in one Cartesian plane to know what the graph of the functions look like. First, let's plot the x-intercepts of the original function, which is 5/4 and 0. 5/4 is equals to 1.25. Next, we will plot the y-intercept, which is 0 and -5. Since the original function, which is f of x is equals to 4x minus 5, is a linear function, it is just a straight line, so we'll connect the 2 points. Let's do these steps again to the inverse function. First, plot the x-intercept of the inverse function, which is -5 and 0. Next is the y-intercept, which is 0 and 5/4. Then, connect again the points. As you can see, the points of the original and inverse functions are like reflections of each other. You can also see the symmetry of the two graphs because of the reflection line, which is y equals x. A function is a relationship between inputs and outputs. In a function, each input has only one output. The opposite of a function is its inverse. Whatever the function does, its inverse undoes. Functions are found in our everyday life. There are many small examples like adding ingredients while cooking, performing operations on a game, and metric or currency conversions.